Hi everyone, welcome to Bible Reading with Ariel. Today we are going to read Proverbs Chapter 5. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow your ear to my understanding, that you may regard discretion, and that your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell, lest you should ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that you cannot know them. Hear me now, therefore, O my children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not come near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others, and your years to the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with your wealth, and your labors be in the house of a stranger, and your mourn at the last, when your flesh and your body are consumed, and say, How have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of your own cistern, and running waters out of your own well. Let your fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only your own, and not strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. Let her be as the loving deer and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy you at all times, and be ravished always with her love. And why would you, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of a man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he ponders all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall grasp the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. So the part of this proverb that I would like to talk about is adultery. This is very serious in the eyes of God because marriage is very serious in the eyes of God. I think today a lot of people take marriage as, just something you do because you love each other. But before the eyes of God, it is a bond that should not be broken and cannot be broken if two people are truly living their lives before the Lord, honoring Him with their marriage and what they do. So we see it a lot actually throughout the Proverbs, that it's the father telling the son to be careful of the women who are out there just roaming around looking to trip someone up, basically. And this one talks about an immoral woman where she is just looking for someone to lay with, to bring into her home. And the proverb says in verse 8, to remove your way far from her, distance yourself from such a woman. And it makes me think about, any woman watching this, how do you want to live your life? How do you want people to think of you? Even if you're not going out and, sleeping with a bunch of married guys, when someone talks about you, are they describing you in a way that they are warning someone to stay far from you? Or are they saying, go to that person, they're a lovely lady? And then men, just don't be the guy who goes out and sleeps around. Even just dating, you're not bound to that person, but do you want to be someone that people are saying, oh, he just sleeps around with everyone? Or no, he's a man who is dedicated to the person that he's with and respects and honors the woman that he's with. And then later on in the proverb, it talks about how a husband should cherish his wife. And that's the way that the Lord looks at us, is he cherishes us. And that's the way that he wants a husband to look at the wife, is to cherish her, to love her, to honor her. That's the place that he put him in. And same for women, to cherish and honor and respect your husbands. So it's a beautiful thing that God has created. And in the latter end of this, we see consequences. So whenever we go against someone, we're not only hurting that person, but we're also hurting ourselves. And it's a principle that is very evident with all sin, that, what you do not only affects them, but it affects yourself spiritually. And God is so beautiful that he gives us these words and these writings to say, hey, here is what can go wrong. I'm telling you what can go wrong. I'm telling you the consequences if you do this. And then I'm also telling you how you should act instead. So he not only warns us, but he gives a solution, even if the solution is distancing yourself from someone. And then, holding close to the people that are close to you. And in this case, your spouse. So I just want to end by saying that, yay, God, he loves us. I myself have been married for 10 years now, and it has been quite the roller coaster, but it's been a beautiful one because we've had the Lord on our side the entire time. And when you know that God is on your side, you can do anything. You can get through anything. He corrects his children because he loves his children. And when we stop resisting him, then things just are easier. It's just easier when we stop resisting, when we really give our lives over to him. So I just want to encourage you all that if you're in a place where you feel the correction of the Lord and it feels heavy and it feels burdensome, that take a look inside yourself and think maybe you're just resisting him, because it shouldn't be burdensome, because he's there helping us and guiding us through it, and he gives us the grace to get through it. He gives us the ability to overcome anything. But if we're rebellious and if we're resistant to his guiding and his leading and his instruction and his correction, then that's when it becomes hard. So I hope you're encouraged. See you next time.